Hi. Another day, another podcast. There you go. So I'm gonna invite the guest of today. Let's see. So today is a podcast day. We're gonna be talking about really interesting stuff. So stay tuned for the next 60 minutes. Let's see. Okay, 10 minutes. It's been a long time. I'm so happy that we're back a new year with a new type of podcasting format. This time it's video podcasting. Hope you like the outfit of today. Let's see. They're joining us very soon. Let's go, guys. We can do this. See if they're able to join us. Set. Stay tuned for the next 60 minutes because we're going to be talking about student entrepreneurship with Student Made Store. Let's see. Set. Finger crossed it works. It worked a couple minutes ago, so hopefully it works now. I think so, yeah. How you guys doing? Let me know in the comments. It's been a long time. Haven't heard from you guys. I miss you a lot. Hopefully it works. I think it will work. It just needs some time. There you go! Let's go!
Hello.
I'm so happy it worked again.
I kept clicking to join and it wasn't doing it.
Oh, the third one is the third try is the best one then.
Yes.
Right.
It worked.
It worked. Nice. Well, welcome guys. Welcome to the spaces. Welcome to the podcast. As I was saying, new day, new podcast. And I just want to start by saying thank you so much for joining. For those ones that are listening to us right now, welcome to K4S, the show that connects students to their campus podcast. For today, the topic of the day is student entrepreneurship. This is a topic that many of you have been requesting for the past 3 months or so. So I was doing my research. I was looking for the right guest for this, and I was really intrigued to invite the following brand. It's called Student Made Store. And I will let our guests of today, Ryan and Lindsay, introduce themselves. Hi, guys. Welcome.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
us.
thank you for having me on. This is very
How are you
cool.
guys doing today?
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Good lighting.
Yes. It's a
It's a
beautiful
nice sunny
day
day outside.
in Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Great location.
Yes.
So how about we start by saying like a quick your name, your background, and a fun fact about you guys.
Name,
Fun fact.
background, and a fun fact. Do you want to start?
Sure.
Also, what career do you do in college?
Okay.
What-
Like major.
What major?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So hi, my name's Ryan. I'm a co-founder of Student Made with Lindsay. I majored in entrepreneurship in college, so
Fitting.
pretty fitting.
Okay.
Fun fact about myself, I'll steal this one. We just recently got married. So we
Yes.
started Student Made in 2017, technically. Just
Yep.
got married in May 2023 and honeymooned in Italy and France,
Yes.
which was an amazing time. And we can't see it. We have an Italy poster on our wall here. It would be nice if that was in the view, but it's not. So
Awesome.
stole that fun fact from
Yes,
you.
and that was going to be mine.
Well, congratulations. Huh?
Thank you. So I'm Lindsay Reith, technically McElhenney now. Originally
Technically
from.
not. She hasn't changed her name.
I haven't changed my
legally.
name, but
Holding
it's
out.
coming. I'm from New Jersey. In college, I majored in human service studies, and I had a few minors as well. And my fun fact, I use this one a lot, but when I was little, I lived in Bermuda for 3 years, which was awesome.
Pretty much nice weather out there, 24/7.
Fun fact that you competed in the national championship of cricket ball throw.
In Bermuda. That's kind of
or
cool.
shot put?
No, cricket ball throw. Yes.
Okay, so it was a straight arm.
When I was like 7 years old. Yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That actually got me into question in regards to the topic of the day, that is entrepreneurship. With both of your backgrounds, how do you guys get to meet each other? Like, was it in college? Was it like, how was it?
Yes.
It was.
We met in college through mutual friends. And we always say this as a joke, but it is honestly true. Our first dates were business meetings. Like, we always just had ideas, and we just had the most fun having business meetings, and that's how everything started.
Do you want to go for coffee?
No, we
pretty much.
And we each had our notebooks.
We had an agenda. We were ready to go.
That was probably our favorite part about school.
Yeah.
And it wasn't student made at first. We had all sorts of other
All
ideas.
sorts of ideas. Yeah.
And sometimes we would have 2 meetings a day. We'd be journaling like, this is crazy, our second business meeting of the day. Like, we're actually going to make it happen.
Yeah.
And then student made, we were doing that since sophomore year.
Yeah.
And then our junior year, you'll probably get into this, our student made journey a little more. But that started winter. It was a Christmas event, holiday event, our junior year. So 2017, I think. Yeah, December of 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, because it got me into question. The way I started with K4S was because in my freshman year at St. Mary's University in Canada, there was this kind of like society expo day, right? There's different societies and stuff. And I remember the entrepreneurship club was there, and I didn't know anything about entrepreneurship. I was in science, but it got me really interested. I was like, maybe I will just join. So I joined, and during the first semester, they were like, you have to create a project in school to connect students. And I was like, maybe a podcast, right?
Yeah.
And it was because I was getting involved in different clubs on campus that got me into this project. And it's kind of similar to you guys, because, I wanted to know a little bit more of what got you started into Student Made Store. Was it something that was like, right off the bat, I want to do this, or was like a lot of ideas and then?
Well, it's interesting to say your project with school, because I was actually a pretty similar start for Student Made. So I don't know, it sounds a little fantastical or whatever, but I was in a philosophy class called Philosophy of Leadership, and we had a project assignment that was I don't remember exactly what it was called. It was to create something that had a positive impact on community on campus. So like something very similar to yours.
Yes.
And right around that time, I had met this girl who was in the same dorm as me, like same building, and she was running a business. It was called Carolina Candy, the jewelry company. And so I just got talking to her one day about her business and, how she does it from her dorm room. And she was like doing it pretty much full time. She was making like really good sales, was really well known. And she was selling on Etsy, I believe, and then did some different like pop-up expos, around Raleigh probably. And, but she was saying that not many people knew what she like about her business on campus. She kind of did it to herself in her dorm room, and there weren't any types of events that she could sell at our school. And besides like maybe her suite mates there, no one really knew that she did this. Yeah. So from that project, I started to think, how, one, like if she's doing this, maybe other students are doing a similar thing. And so I don't even remember how we found out about other students, but we did. We found out about, I think it was 15.
Yeah, to start off with.
Yeah, 15 students who we eventually got connected with. I guess through word of mouth.
Yeah.
Primarily, probably starting with her. She maybe knew some friends that also had been. And then together for our first event. It was a student holiday pop-up in 2017. So
Just give me a sec, just before we continue. I'll just take my water.
oh, no worries. So,
just in case.
I'm trying to think of anything else there, but that,
Yeah,
No,
you.
I missed it. Don't worry.
Oh, good. You that was the project for the class, and so I think you got a really good grade. And you were telling me about this project, and I was like, wait a second, we could actually do that because
Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually came across the Google Doc the other day, like digging through some old files, and I read the initial like proposal for this idea, and that was pretty cool to, before it was anything, to go back in time, and it's actually pretty close to what it is now.
Yeah, definitely.
To create that community, because not only to help students sell their products and promote their businesses, but also just to create a community around that was like one of our main goals from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
And it is really true how that happened. These 15 students got together, and none of them ever knew about each other before. So they were like other people were in their same shoes, trying to grow a business, be a student, like have some outlet of creativity, and they just really got a lot of energy from each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I think enjoyed hanging out with each other. And we had 5 or 6 meetings leading up to this event where we all got together and discussed like our products and how we were going to promote the event. And so it was really a team thing. It was us and all of them kind of helping.
Yeah, getting started.
Get it off the ground. Yeah.
What I like the most about what you mentioned right now is how you guys started with the mission. That I'm looking at the student made program that you guys have in your website that says a student made mission is to partner with colleges and universities in providing an effective and entirely student-run platform for entrepreneurial students to reach supporters on their campus and our growing network of campuses. I think that's so great because sometimes students, when they are going through their university career or the university era, they think they just go there to study and that's it. And I like how you guys spotlight the fact that no, like you can actually become an entrepreneur, and this opportunity not only gonna help you as a person, but also after college.
Yes.
So how do you guys balance when you were students? How do you guys were balance that the part of being a student, having a student life, and also trying to build a business for students?
Yeah.
Yeah. That feels like so long ago, doesn't it? That was dealing with that, being students and starting Student Made.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it was really exciting because I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do after college. I kind of dabbled in a lot of things. I had a lot of different interests, but starting Student Made was the first thing that took all of my attention and all of my energy, and I loved that. It was really exciting to start something from nothing. And so I didn't struggle to balance it because I really had such a deep passion for something. I feel like I finally found what I had been looking for when I was in college. So that's why part of the reason why we built Student Made to be run by students is because I wanted to pass along that experience of being starting something from the ground up to students on college campuses that we worked at. So that's kind of how we function now based on.
Yeah. And to the point of working with other colleges, so how we started, not exactly the model that we have now. It has evolved quite a bit. So right now we launch Student Made at the unique branch at every campus that we work with. So a campus will either reach out to us and say, we want to bring an outlet for student entrepreneurs to promote their businesses on campus. And we're looking at different pop-up shop ideas, or maybe we wanted to open like a permanent retail space on campus or allow our students to sell online. And we came across you guys, and so we'll go there and make a totally unique branch of Student Made.
Yeah.
So it has kind of its own brand. It has its own student manager team handling all the functions of running it. And to your point about, so you talked a little bit about us starting this in college, but now we know like how much work it is to try to grow a business and be a student. So that's the manager team in place that handles a lot of the functions that go into growing a business. So like all the responsibility and work is not on these student entrepreneurs. They have they have a website manager that helps curate the website for them and upload their products and handle the orders that come in. They have a content creator who's available anytime, product shoots and photo shoots to make sure that their brand looks really good on the site. And there are 7 positions in total that handle so many different things. So, and we've heard that from a lot of students who are like, I was selling on Etsy before, and I just had to keep up with like all my own like the website stuff and handling the orders and the shipping and taxes, and
not to mention creating the product or like building the business
and marketing yourself
takes
hard.
a ton.
So it's really cool. All of our brands have their own Instagram accounts. They have a really well-known brand on campus from the social media manager, and it takes a lot of that stress time off of young student entrepreneurs.
I like it. So basically, you guys offer like a 360 of services to the student entrepreneur. And going to the point of the college collaboration, with how many colleges do you work with?
So currently, our program's operating at 11 campuses across the country. Yes. Yes. Which is really exciting, and all different states too. They're not like at all consolidated to one part. We have Michigan, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina,
Wisconsin,
now Maryland. All over the place.
Kudos to you guys. And from all the partnerships that you have noticed with all these campuses, have you noticed any similarities, or like what would you say are the similarities and the differences between the partnerships that you guys have?
That's a good question.
Oh, that's such a good question.
I think similarities, the big kind of obvious one, well, maybe obvious, it's fortunate that as a similarity across all the campuses is that students are in like the same, like in other words, the concept of student made has proven valuable every campus we've been at, no matter what type of campus it is, like no matter what size, no matter a private or public school, like there are student founders who have the same struggles and the same goals and challenges at every campus. It's almost the situation. So our program has been able to fit in really well at each campus, like without much of a need for changing or adapting it to the campus. It just kind of fits.
Naturally, And I would say another trend that we've seen from the campuses we operate at is the student population that we're engaging are business students, and a lot of them are not identifying with the term entrepreneur, which is something that is our goal. Who are not in the business school, don't think they're entrepreneurs, and help them learn about what it takes to start a business, that people are interested in what they're creating, and that in turn they really are an entrepreneur, they just don't know it yet.
Well said. Yeah, there are some students who are like, yes, I want to pursue this after I graduate. I want to be a full-time I don't know if potter, I don't know if that's the right word, full-time pottery business owner, or I want to be a full-time painter or a full-time photographer, whatever they're doing. But there are some students who are like, I'm a biomedical engineer student, and like, I'm going to be doing that full-time when I graduate. But I also hope to learn a lot of lessons, valuable lessons that come from starting and running a business.
Yes.
And I also want to keep doing this on the side after I graduate if possible. And so I think that it suits all different types of goals that students have. Yeah.
That's super dope. I think as you guys can read in the comments, the audience are really engaged and highly surprised of the different kind of campuses that you work with. I think that's super valuable because sometimes going back to my student experience in the SMU, University of Business School in Canada, the good thing about the university is that it's made for student entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Like most of my friends at school, I remember, like I was in science, I had friends in social science, in philosophy and psychology, and they were all part of the entrepreneur club because we want to get to build something at school, and And even though I graduated already, but I still see some students that they still getting to know all the opportunities that are available in the entrepreneurship department.
Yeah. Yes.
I think that's very important, like how the university itself engage students into the entrepreneurial things.
Yes.
And we're finding that that's a big reason as we talk to universities that they're excited about bringing students to their campus, is because they do a really good job at engaging the traditional business student who's taking all these business or as an entrepreneurship minor. What they're wanting to do is reach this whole student population that is outside of the business school that is harder to engage. For a lot of students we talked to didn't know that the Entrepreneurship Center was available to them. Like that was a resource that they could access because they weren't a business student. So we're kind of helping them just break down those barriers. Also, you've probably noticed our brand is super creative and like fun and artistic and built so that every student will feel like, okay, this could be a place for me no matter what business I have.
Relevant, accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Lindsay was saying, I think a lot of times entrepreneurship centers struggle to appeal to different types of students. And like you were saying, they appeal to one type of entrepreneur, like
the typical you would picture.
Yeah, like high growth
business major.
Yeah, and like they might be working with 5 to 7, maybe 10 students, depending on the size of the school.
Yeah.
But like, there's nothing wrong with those business ideas, but they're going to take a lot of time to develop. And like this business probably won't be started while they're in college. It's going to be a several year thing on the road. And I think it's definitely great for schools to help those types of students. But in our case, like there are students already running a business, and maybe it's not as like high growth potential as the next, Uber, but they're like really passionate about it. They're trying to grow it, and they're learning a lot of great valuable lessons about entrepreneurship. And those were just the types of students that entrepreneurship centers weren't really able to reach. And a story I love, it was our first visit to a campus, Marquette University in Milwaukee. So we visited there like a few months after they launched, or maybe right before they launched. And one of our goals was to just recruit students, like, so we went to talk to classrooms, and we just said, like, do you or anyone like run a business, like are interested in starting a business? And in like the 4 classes we spoke to, I think we got like 8 students in total that were like, yes, I am. Like I, whatever it is, like I teach yoga on campus. That was one of them. And she's like, I'm trying to get signups for my, for my yoga teaching. And then we were like, well, come meet us in the 707 Hub. That's the entrepreneurship center on campus. And throughout the day, like students just kept coming in. They're like, I heard about Student Made. I've never been in this building before. Like I'm a psychology student. Like I don't come here. And that's exactly what the 707 Hub is trying to be, is like a place for all students, not just the business students. And so in one day,
we saw
that
so many times.
Yeah.
That's super insightful. I can see as well that you guys are talking from experience and going back to the experience of 2023. For those listening to us right now, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments, so we will go throughout them during the episode. But going to the 2023 year, how was it for you guys? How many partners do you guys got in terms of students? What different student businesses have you guys partnered with? How's it been for you guys last year?
Last year. Okay.
Yeah.
This is all fresh brain because we just did all of our impact reports and our semester recaps. We had, I think it was a little under 100 student participants, participating, and about 70 student managers participating, which was really exciting. So our community grew a lot, which was awesome. I think our sales were about 56,000. This is just last semester also. This is the full year. This is the fall semester of 2023. So
December semester.
Our sales way up with the addition of new campuses. Basically, all the goals we had set, we exceeded, and it was incredible just in the fall semester. And
another big thing that contributed to sales was we started tracking pop-up sales,
Yeah.
which we hadn't, which is kind of stupid that we never did that. But we upgraded the pop-up system, payment system to use Square. So we're able to track the sales now. Like a lot of sales come from the in-person pop-up shops that happen on campus, but also local community around campus. Those do really, really well. It as well, if not better, than site sales.
Yeah.
And success story to shout out another great campus, Michigan State. Kind of a somewhat. They, November alone, they got into a couple different markets, like what do you say, almost like dining hall markets on campus, and their student products were able to be sold there, and they sold over 10,000 in sales in
1 month,
in just November.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah. And so that was the first campus that did that model where they have a permanent retail spot. And so the manager is getting to run that like it's a real store. And so they have to keep track of the inventory and the taxes and the all of that. So that's been a great partnership. And there's a success story on our website if you want to check it out. On the stories, studentmadestore.com/stories. You can read about that.
That's a good marketing right there. Yeah.
All about it.
I'm so curious. Like, I want to put myself in the situation in which, imagine, like, my school finally decides to partner with you guys. What type of initiatives do you guys run on campus? You guys mentioned about the pop-ups. Like, put us in a situation in which a student-made store works in a campus environment.
Yeah. So, one of the kind of going off this question, one of the things that's core to our mission is we work with a lot of entrepreneurship centers that have 1 to 2 staff members in them. So they're like, they don't have a lot of people working in them, therefore adding the program would be difficult to manage and run successfully. And so since we know this going into entrepreneurship centers, we've built our program in a way that we manage all of the things that go with starting a student-made program and successfully running one on campus. And so we do outreach to engage student creators. We promote all the manager positions. We interview them, train them, and everything that goes into creating the program on campus, we basically with our team. And then also the running of it. So pop-ups that happen on campus, there are community events that happen between the managers and the creators. They can also participate in educational opportunities like virtual workshops, networking events across our campus branches, all that kind of stuff. And we facilitate that for our team.
So I'm reading it through the PDF that you guys have, the student manager team, campus manager, website manager, social media manager. It's crazy because you guys are literally covering the whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
We remind manager teams of that a lot. Is they're basically a startup company on their campus running students.
Exactly.
Yes, and things in, they're like, oh wow, we're kind of entrepreneurs in ourselves, and I'm like, yes, everyone can be an entrepreneur. Everyone.
Yep. Yeah.
What would you say are the misconceptions or the cliches students tend to have when thinking about jumping into entrepreneurship? Do you think that maybe like what do you think is the first thing that comes to mind for them to make them not jump into it right away? Or
I think
so many.
I think that people probably think they have to like have it all figured out to be an entrepreneur. I think something we are always saying to each other is like being an entrepreneur is literally just, I think, French for figure it out on the fly.
Yes.
Out as you go.
Figure it out as you go.
Like you don't have to really have anything figured out. Like that's what the journey of entrepreneurship is. So I think there's no place that's too low to start.
And I relate to this so much because I think even like less than a year ago, someone asked me entrepreneur, and it wasn't like I didn't say like yes immediately. I had to kind of think about it. And I was like, I'm an entrepreneur. And so I think even me running a business for a couple of years now, the term entrepreneur, I don't know. I feel like you feel like you have to be successful to say you're an entrepreneur. And I think a lot of students are like, oh, I'm just running a small business room. I'm not an entrepreneur. I don't have like millions of followers or millions of customers. And so I think that kind of pushes people away from claiming that term. And me, I was kind of like, I don't deserve to say that. I feel like I've done that much.
Yeah, it's almost like an entitlement. It feels like maybe an entitlement where like once you've reached a certain point, like a certain checkpoint, you can say like, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. And then of course there are different stages. There's like struggling entrepreneurs, and maybe more successful entrepreneurs. But another way to look at entrepreneurship that I really liked was in a book called Build for the Future. But yeah, it was really good. It was the author was the editor of Entrepreneur Magazine.
Oh,
so we met him. Yeah. And he just defined entrepreneur as anyone who looks at something and thinks it can be improved and done better. Like it doesn't have to entail a business.
Yeah.
If you look at something, you're like, that can be done in a better way. I'm going to innovate and improve that method or that process. Like that is being an entrepreneur. That is being entrepreneurial.
Yes.
Yeah. So
time disruption at its finest then. Yeah.
Say that again.
Oh, I said disruption at its finest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Disruption
Yeah.
at its finest.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was thank you for the book. I love reading and I'm gonna definitely check it out. I was watching a TED Talk and I wanted to ask you this as the second last question. I was watching this TED Talk and it was saying like there's 5 factors that are part of entrepreneurship success for some businesses. And those factors are timing, team, idea, business model, and funding. Based on your experience building a student-made store and seeing all different kind of student businesses, how would you rate them based on importance, these 5 factors?
That's such a good question. Can you repeat them one more time?
Yeah. So timing, like when do you start a business? The team, the idea of the business model, and then the funding.
Whew.
Oh boy.
They're all so important.
You like games.
Okay, this is hard. I honestly feel like I want to say team is the most important.
Did you say team or theme?
Team.
Like TEAM?
Yeah,
team.
Yeah.
I always say this, like every single day, student made is the people that are in student made. Like I don't think an idea is as powerful without awesome people making it happen. So I would say number 1 is team. You need good people who are passionate and excited about. And then 2, the idea, right? Like I feel like people, idea. And then I know there's business model, funding, timing. Ooh. I would say timing's 3.
Like is it the idea too late? Is it the idea of the business too late or too early for the world?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
don't know. Timing could be 1.
Oh, timing could. Well, there's so many ways you can. I think you went in my order. Timing is 3.
Number 3. Okay.
Because something that we always reflect on is the fact that we started our business right after COVID. We went full time with Student Made, and so many students started during COVID when they were home. They had so much time on their hands, and I think that timing worked out perfectly for us because they got back to campus and they were like, "Now I have this skill and this passion. What do I do?" And so we just there. So I would say 3, 4. I would say business model, and 5. I would say funding. And I know that's putting funding last, but I think entrepreneurship can be scrappy, and I think you can get a lot done without funding. I just believe that.
Yeah.
I love that. I think it's a good way to rate them. Can wait to do Ryan's rating.
Yeah, his is probably different than mine.
I don't know. Like yours. I'm just thinking about timing more than anything. I think we've seen a lot of evidence for the right timing of our business.
Yes.
So like we were at a conference in October. It was the Global Consortium of Entrepreneurship Centers. So it's a global thing. There were a lot of Canadian schools there, Australian schools, like all over the world. And a really big theme that we kept seeing as we went to different sessions at this conference was about like side hustles. So there was one really popular session called like side hustle showcase.
Supporting side hustles. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a school in New Orleans, Loyola, New Orleans, who he started this program basically just to showcase side hustle businesses on campus, and we're hoping to work with him soon.
Yes, they're
Student
awesome.
Mate's not there yet, but so
it was the highest attended session of this entire conference.
It was the highest attended. People really were curious about the hustle thing, and I think that's timing wise that really worked out well for us, because I think the shift in entrepreneurship centers just happened in the last 2 years, like pretty much right when we started. It just seemed to be the thing that these centers were realizing they needed to appeal to a different group of students and didn't really know how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And they knew that this was kind of the evolving scene of entrepreneurship at a campus, because not all campuses, like we were saying earlier, it's not all like Facebook being started over here and Uber here.
Yeah.
It's a lot of side hustle businesses. And I think that really worked out. And we did not do like market research. Like we didn't, we didn't like talk to other schools before really pursuing this.
We just knew.
We were just like, if this worked at our campus, like sure enough, it's going to work at other campuses. And it really has. And it's continued to do that. Yeah.
So 100% timing at the top?
I think so.
Well, you say, yeah, go for it.
Oh, the whole order?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So you got
the one at the top and the one at the bottom, maybe.
Timing and team I would definitely put as second, or like at the top. Timing, team. At the bottom, business model.
Funding. Idea.
Ooh. Oh man.
I can do it so many ways. I want to read it.
I might actually put idea at the top, because I don't know, because I don't think timing is as relevant in every type of business. Like I think ours was very niche, and like our customer being entrepreneurship centers, like timing really helped with that. But if you are starting a photography business, or I don't know, a yoga business, like timing probably isn't as crucial with that.
Yeah.
I would say that's more like your idea. I don't know.
Yeah, I could also counter that and put idea last. I was just
really.
Yes, I think sometimes I see businesses like that's a bad idea. That I just don't understand how this is a business, and it's because they have all the other. I think you can turn a bad idea into a great business. I think it's possible. I mean, if you have a good team, good marketing, like time works, you never know what could happen.
Interesting.
I love that. That was so fun to think about.
I don't know. Yeah, that makes me think of like a quote I heard from. It was actually Rob. Just funny because that's my last name. But it's always sunny guy. It's always sunny in Philadelphia. I think they won some awards. Like, this is the worst idea for a show that's ever been created. Like, it was so bad. We were like, I hope people don't watch this. It's so bad. But it worked, and it got really popular.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know, just because their team, like, they worked so well together, and people loved it.
The timing.
Idea. He's like, this was an awful idea for a show.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Possible.
I agree with the ranking that you guys made, because putting as an example with how I started the project on campus, I had the idea, but it was really basic, just making a podcast. Like anybody can make a podcast.
Yes.
But I think what I would like to put is the timing first and then team second, because I started it on January 2020. Mind you, I didn't know COVID was gonna be a thing 2 months later. So two of my friends at school, two of my school friends, they were taking care of the marketing. They were putting some posters on campus, and then another school friend was inviting some other school friends to join the podcast. So I think the team was really important, because I know that I couldn't do it by myself. But then business model and funding. In terms of funding, the school helped me a lot. Like I learned how to record, edit, all the materials were provided by the Entrepreneurship Center. So I think if you're a student, just look at what you have in your environment, look at what you have in your school, and take advantage of that. And in terms of business model, I'm still on it. I think I jumped into a phase in which 4 years ago when I started this, I was just making podcasts at my school. But now my whole point and my mission is to build a platform where students can not only get to hear their campus podcast, but they can also create podcast by themselves. They can learn how to do that as well. So I would say, yeah, timing, team idea, business model, and funding, for sure. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Timing first.
Yeah, timing first.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah, it did really work out well for us. I mean, I hate to say that, like it's a
I know.
positive thing, but that COVID, yes, that COVID era,
COVID was a blessing for others and a curse for others.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's really nice. Well, we covered some really good stuff and some really good topics and a little bit more of the brand as well. And I don't know if you guys have any questions before we jump into the Q&A with the audience. I mean, now that we're here.
So we recently started a podcast for Student Aid.
Exactly.
It's infancy, but can we be on your platform at all, or is it only students?
You guys are in the platform as well, of course.
Yeah.
So in our Spotify profile, what I did is I made playlists based on different things. And one of the things I did is playlists based on subjects, like business subjects and philosophy and different university subjects. So in the playlist of business, all your new podcasts are there. So don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right.
I did a research. I don't know if you know the newsletter called Madeleines. Madeleines. It showcases the best universities on the United States and Canada every year.
No.
Okay, no.
So I watched the one of 20. Well, I watched the one every year, but the last one in 2023, there were maybe let's say 25 best universities or colleges in USA and Canada. So I did a research. I went to Spotify and I was like, Yale University podcast, there was a podcast. UCLA podcast, there was a podcast. At least 85% of colleges have a podcast.
Oh. And is this
because they have a radio station there, yes, or because a student there from I don't know, like a society have a podcast there, or maybe the career center have a podcast. So what I like to do is like push them all together in one single platform, so that we can get used to them.
That's a really
really similar nice concept in that like student businesses. What we do is basically and make it easily accessible to find and learn about and support student businesses, and you're doing the same thing. Find and utilize the podcast at universities. That's awesome.
If eventually we're in Canada, and students that are trying to grow a podcast, I think they'd be a perfect fit for Student Aid, because we've never had a student podcaster, but that would be an awesome type of business to support.
The first one that I will highly recommend you guys, and I will help you guys the most, is to connect with the students in University of Toronto.
University of Toronto.
Ontario. Yeah, because that podcast is really good. The podcast is made by students in a radio station of school. And the podcast is about, they talk about music, and they talk about the student life stories. And I'm sure they would love to have you guys in their podcast for sure.
That would be so cool.
I've never been to Canada. I don't think you have either.
No, I have not.
So I would love to make a visit whenever possible.
Do it in person.
Yes, that would be lovely.
I would also
so now yes,
a lot of entrepreneurship centers seem to have podcasts. I don't know if you found those, but
they do.
Yeah, Stanford has one. What's the name of that school? Brown University has one. Like I have a list. I can actually send it to you.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. If we come across any, we'll send them over to you. Because I get a lot of these newsletters from entrepreneurship centers, and it's always like a lot of them have a podcast in there, like a student-founded podcast. So actually, funny enough, a hopeful new client, new school, Troy University in Alabama. So Lindsay was on a call with them the other day, and they were telling us about their new entrepreneurship center. And it's like an old bank, and they're converting this bank into like a total entrepreneurship hub. And the old vault for the bank is becoming their podcast studio.
Called the Vault.
It's like
I know. I was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever heard.
That's so dope. That's so dope. That's it reminds me of the last thing I did on campus. When I left, I built a studio. So now the students at my school, they can use it to create their podcast.
Oh, that's so cool.
Good for you.
That was like my first, like when I jumped into podcasting, I was like, if I finish this, I want to make sure that there's people still doing this on campus. This is cool.
Do you have any advice on like remote podcasts? What kind of tool do you use? I've been through like tons of them trying to figure it out. Like some are better.
Are you recording from your phone or from your laptop?
So I'm using Riverside, and
Riverside is a good one, yeah.
I've tried using it from the first one we ever did on the computer was like glitches. Like I went to listen to the recording afterward, and it was like lawnmower in the background, fireworks going on. I'm like, where is that stuff coming? So I use it on the phone now, and it works much better.
It works better.
I was about to tell you that sometimes it depends on what you're using as a microphone input. Yeah. But I think phone normally works better. Riverside is a good platform. Also, StreamYard is a good platform. It depends on the steps of podcasting, right? Because that's the recording side. Then you have the editing side of things. That depending on which laptop do you use, it's gonna be easier or more harder. I like to use GarageBand for it, or iMovie as well.
Yeah.
The apps that are already accessible in MacBook are good. And also, I would like to recommend you that something that I do at least once a week. Did you know that Apple Store hosts free events to learn how to use your devices?
No. Oh,
actually, yes, the Apple Store.
I've never attended one.
It's so cool. I mean, everything that I know about tricks, podcasting tricks with my devices is from there.
Wow. That's good to know.
We should go to that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because iMovie is actually a really good editor. I mean,
I
only found that out like last week because
I love iMovie.
Every different software I've tried to use to record, I also use their editor, and it just like it doesn't. I've tried Spotify Podcasters, which is formerly Anchor.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god, so bad.
It's another world. Yeah. And Spotify for podcasters only is good for uploading.
Say that again.
When you want to do the distribution.
It's only good for uploading.
Oh yeah. So now it's like different things for everything. There's a recorder and an editor and a host, and they're all different.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. I think I listened to the last episode that you guys posted, and I really liked because I always think like when you're recording a podcast, it's like a wave. You know, you have the intro and then you talk and things like that. And I like how you guys do it. I think it's good. It's really, really good.
Yeah,
that's good feedback.
Yeah, and the length as well. It's good. Yeah.
Awesome.
What I would suggest you to do is to add some ads, like ads that benefit you guys. Like if you guys have anything that you'd like to announce in between topics, just add like a 30 seconds. You know.
That's a good idea.
Something or maybe if you have a partner, something like a call to action.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I put in ads for different products that we use in Student Aid. You know, like
brand partners.
If we can get brand partnerships, like Squarespace is a big one. We build all our websites with Squarespace.
Yeah.
We use so many different things.
I know.
Yeah. And then maybe you can, if you're saying that you work with Squarespace, maybe they can create a specific promo code for you guys. You guys can promote this promo code on the podcast. Like that's the how to monetize your podcast section of things.
We'll get into that.
Definitely.
Yeah, the goal now is we just
do it every week.
Do it make sure we can do it every week.
Yeah.
We get into the rhythm of that. We'll start thinking about monetizing.
I have to say thank you to you guys because you guys got me to start again into recording live and things like that. Because last year I was just doing some research and making the Spotify platform more available. But let's jump into the most important part.
Awesome.
Guys, the ones that are listening to us right now in the comments, let us know what are your thoughts. The first one is from Christine Chan. She is saying, do you have any exciting goals for the Student Made store in 2024?
Question. I might know her, actually.
Yes. She's one of our awesome friends.
Long time.
Who actually was a student creator at our campus. That's the person. But
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay. There's a lot of like audio feedback, but it's good now.
I would say the biggest goal is we would love to launch Student Made at 10 new campuses in 2024. So our goal is to double in 2020. That's kind of the biggest goal.
Yeah. I would agree. What else? Goals 2024.
That's the main one.
That's definitely the main one.
Yeah.
Communications to be better.
Yes.
So we kind of innovating communications ideas to help campuses all connect with each other. So
yeah.
Which actually we're trying out a new app called Flare.
Which is awesome.
Another brand advertising, brand partnership there. But yeah, we've used GroupMe in the past, and it just like it gets very cluttered, and there isn't a great way to have different communication channels. So we want our creators to be able to across similar business types. So all jewelry makers and all graphic designers and like all pottery artists, like all kind of be able to share tips and tricks together more effectively. And then our managers really all our different, the pop-up that the events at the school, they can learn from our whole network. We want to connect them together. So that's communication connect is the big thing. I think just community, like we always come back to huge theme of community that we always want to be.
Yes. And we always reflect on the fact that we need to grow and develop these tools is good because it means we're kind of growing out of what was working before because we were getting bigger. Yeah. And so we're just always refining how do we do this better now that we have 300 people to communicate with in all different kinds of ways. So that's always a big goal for us.
Yeah.
Those are really good goals that you guys have set for yourself, and I'm pretty sure you guys can achieve them. Because I feel like you guys made a good team, and also how you guys operate online and how you guys are portraying on your website and your business model as well, how you work with, how you partner with schools. It's really good. And my goal for you guys is to come to Canada.
Yes. Yes, we'll add that to our goal list.
So we think to Canada, like big thing is the shipping, and
apparently we can
because like a month ago we saw that someone ordered from Canada. We have no idea who,
and we shipped it there,
and it got there. So
yeah,
I guess it can happen.
We
just have to registering as a business there, setting up taxes. That's an obstacle. I mean,
we just have to figure that out.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be that hard.
That's really good. My goal for 2024 is I would say to make it more accessible for students, to reach out to more students, to interview more students in podcasts, and to find a good partner for the platform. Because I feel like the niche that I decided to choose in this time students, it's a very good niche, and making it as a podcast audience as well is both good. So hopefully you guys have any suggestions or recommendations.
Yes.
Let me know.
Some students your way because we know a lot. So
definitely. So we will definitely get in touch for this matter. The next question is someone from at Nico Children's Book asking, how can I get my college involved in Student Made?
Great question. studentmadestore.com/launch.
Yep. So basically just submit an interest form. I will respond and set an interest meeting with you, and I'll learn about your campus, learn more about how you'd want to use Student Made, talk through the next steps of launching on your campus.
I will say, back to our order of steps here, funding is an obstacle. So we've had a lot of students reach out to us before saying like, we need Student Made at our school. It would work so well. And that's great. And I wish we could just go to that school and, no problem. But I wish money wasn't.
Totally.
But funding from Entrepreneurship Center is a struggle because sometimes they're connected to the business school, get funding that way.
Mm-hmm.
Other they're independent. They have to do all their own fundraising. It's it's a slow process.
Yeah.
But we'd love to work with you. And I think having a student on campus to help us get into the school really
is really helpful. Yeah.
Who's there and have the meetings in person. And,
yeah.
Yeah, that's a major role for sure. I'm gonna ask you guys one from the one I collected. Looking ahead, what trends do you foresee in the realm of student entrepreneurship, and how can aspiring student entrepreneurs stay ahead of the curve?
Ooh.
Really good question.
The first thing that popped into my mind is marketing, social media marketing. I just feel like the world we live in today, so many successful businesses revolve around their brand. So I think leading with focusing on developing a strong brand is how you can stay ahead and because I think that's what people and customers connect to first is the brand, and then the product or the service you're providing kind of comes second. I think it's most feel a connection to. I think branding is everything now. I think that's first and foremost.
I think that's true. I guess I would also add, like, coming back to the idea part of the different things. Like when you're gonna pursue an idea, I don't know. There are so many businesses out there, and there are a lot of people doing very similar things. So I would just say, like, try to come up with some special way that differentiates you from other people, because it's yes, I think branding really helps. And if you say you are a, I don't know, fill in the blank type of business owner,
jewelry.
Yeah, all right, jewelry. You're a jewelry owner, or jewelry, but you can do a great job promoting yourself on social media, but the jewelry is and it's so hard to stand out. So if you come up with a creative idea, like say, all right, I'm not just going to sell jewelry, but I'm going to hold virtual Instagram live sessions that teach you how to make, and we're going to do like that's a different idea that's going to help grow
There's
your
depth
following.
in that idea beyond,
And now you have a different media
and revenue
channel.
stream potentially.
Yeah, you could people to come learn how to make jewelry, like things like that. So just make sure your idea, not going to drown in the world of other similar ideas.
Yeah.
I think that's, I'm trying to link the last thing you said, Ryan, with I'm also trying to build this platform. Like, of course, you have the podcast platform, you can listen to the podcast, but also my goal is to help people how to do it, So aside of I started doing some merchandising, as you can see.
Yep.
Designing myself, as well as a planner, a podcast planner, so you can write your development, the different things that can get them involved in the podcast journey. And my last question would be, what practical advice would you give to students who have a business idea but are unsure where to start?
Oh, join Student Made. Always. This is a good one. I would say, because I've thought of this before. I think I've gotten asked this on a podcast before. It's a good question. I would say assume the best in people. Like when we were starting Student Made, I started off so nervous. Like we had to get permission from people, or we had to invite people to be a part of Student Made. And in the beginning, it can feel like everything's against you, and there's no way this person's going to say yes to this, or they're going to think this is a bad idea. But when you flip that to thinking the best of, I'm excited to connect with this person, they're going to love this idea, it creates this energy and this excitement. I think more people out there want to support you than you think.
Yeah.
And if you with that, there are just so many doors that are open that you wouldn't think would be. So I'd say for it and think the best of people.
I love that.
Preach, Lindsay, preach. There you go. That's a good advice. That's a really, really good advice. How about you, Ryan?
Let's see. Business idea, where to...
Yeah.
Um, gosh, I think, yeah, I think going off your point of people who really want to be supportive and be a part of something, I would say don't, yeah, don't lead with, but lead with maybe, I don't know, like lead with something fun.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so going back to our start, we had kind of standout moments. One was our school reached out to us, like the or tax building administration at our school, whatever, and said, you can't sell things.
You can't do this,
like
basically.
You can't do this. Like, it's kind of illegal. Like,
not going to work.
Like Barnes & Noble's the only people who can sell things on campus. Like, it's not going to work. And so we were just scared, and
yeah, we're like, I guess it's not going to work.
Yeah, meeting with them, and I don't know, and that's not the best way to go into it. And how it eventually happened, just wanted to plan a fun event on, like, that's, and I don't know, I think leading with something fun and exciting is always going to give you more energy.
Yeah.
Than like leading with that fear and anxiety of like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if they're going to like it. I don't know if it's going to work. And you're
gripping,
just constricting yourself. And I think lead with and positive and like you love doing.
And it will follow. And
having fun and business is growing at the same time. Like, don't think about business. Oh, this is going to be so scary and hard and probably not going to work. Oh my gosh, what if I fail? Like, that's not going to help you get very far. So.
Love it. I think this is one of the main reasons why I decided to invite you guys to this specific podcast and the topic of the day. Because you guys are talking from experience and you guys are working along with students that are into this industry. And you guys are doing such amazing work in these 11 campuses. And I can't wait to see how your goals of 2024 are developing throughout the year. And for everyone listening to us right now, you guys can find this podcast. It will be available in our Spotify platform. It's www.spotify.com/talks4students as a 4. And now we cover the introduction, the guest to know the guest, the topic of the day, audience Q&A. So we're jumping into the very last 10 minutes. So this is a very interesting thing I'm trying this year. It's a Spotify giveaway. We did our first one with the previous podcast and it turned out great. So this is something cool, guys. This is what you guys have to do. In the comments of this post on Instagram, you guys have to do the following. In order to win a 1 free month of Spotify, you guys have to follow both accounts, Talk for Students and Student Made Store. You guys have to tag 2 school friends in the comments, share the post, and you guys have until February 26th to do so. Both Ryan, Lindsay, and I will decide 2 winners from randomly selected, and those will be the winners that will be winning the Spotify Premium subscription for 1 month.
Awesome.
And last but not least, do you guys want to give any shout-outs, any friends, any school friends, or any campuses, or student-made campuses?
I would just
It's a moment to shine.
Yes. Well, I want to shout out our team. Our student team is awesome. Like, we could not do any of this without that works equally as hard. Shout out to our student managers that are running student made campuses, constantly amazing us with their activity, initiative, passion, and of course the creators that make student made. They weren't involved and interested in our brand, we wouldn't exist. So like, those 3 things coming together is what Student Made is, and we're thankful for everything.
I would say shout out to Benedict College as well. Their launch today.
Today's their launch day.
They're first historically Black college, Student Made, up in Columbia, South Carolina, and they're off to a great start so far. Follow their Instagram, Student Made Benedict.
Yes.
So we hope they have a tremendous start. And get a lot of success early on.
What about plugging our account?
Our accounts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Instagram, of course. Store and account. And get online shopping as well. student-made stories.
Yes, please check out the podcast on called Student Made Stories, Apple Podcast, by Amazon. We have two of our we started about a year ago, and we took it for a while, and hopefully should be every week. All goes well.
Yeah.
So
Made store on all social medias, Student Made Stories.
Thank you very much. Where can they find you guys? Aside from the podcast, where can they find you guys? On Instagram, Twitter?
Yeah. LinkedIn.
Facebook, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Made store on TikTok.
Awesome.
And if you ever want to email us directly, just our friends at Student Made Story.
Yes.
Lindsay, email us. Whenever. Be happy to get back.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining the podcast today. And I would like to give a shout out to each of the students that are joining in the live that ask the questions and are becoming the next entrepreneurs. We hope that this podcast is helpful for you guys to become entrepreneurs and to throughout your university career to do your best to aside of enjoying and studying, but also to become an entrepreneur. You never know what can happen when you jump into this world.
Absolutely. Yeah, best of luck to all. You can do it. You got this.
You got this.
Yes.
You got this.
Yeah. That's our motto.
Yeah. Check out our merch. Little plug.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Have a great rest of your day.